So, what's happening in America? We got a war that's supposed to be ending, um, and a couple of things changed. There's a whole big argument on Facebook about all of this too. Um, but so much things is going on, and what's happening? Could it be stopped? But it was done for a reason. Well, but look how much money it costs. But this country has plenty of money, enough money to go around. It's like they're pumping out money because we live in a society. We are a score, a credit score. If the score is at between 7 and 9, yes, there is a 9. I had it. I had that 9. 938. You could have when you had that kind of a score, you could have anything you want. But things happen. But I don't make that bother me because it's just a score. Are you whole life based on a score? Yes. But a lot of people don't care about stuff like that. A score. Because this score allows you to, if it's very good and high, it allows you to get anything you want. Yeah, you can lease a car. You can get a house because it's based on your credit. It's based on, are you a worthy person? Are you responsible? Can you manage money? And that's a shame though, for such a system to be based on that. You work hard, you make your money, you save your money, but it doesn't matter. That, not the way they have everything set up. Now we have lawmakers are supposed to make the right decision for the public, not for themselves. Nobody gets greedy. Nobody gets stuck in there for such a long time. They are supposed to help us. But you got special interest groups, you got all sorts of things going on today. And we have to live like that. Whatever they do, your representative is from it's that you sent to the big hill up there. He's not supposed to sit in that office and take a relax and drink champagne and have a good and smoke a cigar and just don't care about you. He's supposed to take care of your state. Yeah. And you have Congress and you got the Senate. And then you have the justices. That everybody's supposed to work together and help the country. Are they doing it or are they not? Anything happening? Or is this the same old thing? They promise they'll do it for you. They'll do what's right for you, but they don't. Special interest comes in and changes. That's who's controlling the country. Is special interest groups. They're making the lawmakers do what they want, not what you want. Okay. You know, like I said in previous videos, I've been looking for uh, electric vehicle. I have two choices, uh, that you can afford, like that. Because I don't know, because I had an accident last year, and that's a that. If I tell you what's going on in that, you say what? Yeah, what is what? And I'm a very highly intelligent person. I don't like nothing get by me. Anything that's crooked, anything that's not done right, you know, I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm glad we have services that can help me because I take advantage of that. But you know, a lot of people are scared. They don't want to do it. No. Whatever that person that you hired to help you is supposed to do is supposed to help you. If they don't help you, that's what the problem is. So who regulates them? How do, how can they get reprimanded? Or how can they be accounted for their actions? Or is it sky's the limit? Or in other words, you have you have to understand how things are done in this state. What the heck does that mean? How things are done in the state? Is it a racket? Can they do it anything they want? They're supposed to follow the rules. The statutes. Statutes are they what they can do and what they can't do. We're supposed to follow that. We live in a society with laws. We don't live in a society anybody can do anything they want. You go to college, you get your degrees and all that stuff, and then you try to be underhanded. It's a shame. I should be allowed to pick the doctors I want. I shouldn't have to have somebody say, "You're gonna see this person, and this person's gonna be in charge of everything, and we don't have to do nothing." And this person sent you to this person, to this person, to this person. So everybody is like called. It's called patient sharing, sharing, and then there's kickbacks going back to the person that you hired to help you. Isn't that terrible? That is terrible. I can't say certain things, but I won't mention names. Yeah, because then it comes back to you. But I had to do what I had to do. Um, Most people don't do what I do, but you have to. You got to stand up for you. You stand up for yourself, because if you don't, it's going to be bad. And when it's bad, it's not good. Everything else is settled. It's amazing. The vehicle, that's another thing. My insurance, I had them for a long time. I'm not gonna say how many years it is, a long time. That's the first time that happened. That I was involved in a hit and run. But that means the person jumped the light and smacked right into me, and I spin out of control. But my vehicle protected me. It was designed to protect you. More for a rollover. Say you roll over, the cage it was built in, but the front end, it's gone. It's total. Sure, you could send it to India and they can pull out everything, but I don't know how it would run. But who's going to do all of that? Plus, it's getting old. I kept mine in mint condition. You know, yeah. Why not? Because I have a lot of experience. With all this, I always keep the vehicles in mint condition, and I try to I had no garage, so I had to keep buffering. But now they have ceramic. Yeah, ceramic. You use after you wash the vehicle, you can wash the vehicle in ceramic, and you can put the spray in while it's wet. You wait a 50, but it's supposed to wait, I think 10, 15 minutes, and you rinse it off. It's like acrylic. It's like a high gloss. It doesn't last long though, but hey, it looks great. You do the wheels too if you want to. Not really good to spray those wheels, but they have so much stuff today you can spray the wheels with, and you don't have to buy those expensive chemicals. It's basically oil. There's so many things you can do to that. But anyway, I'm in the market looking for an AV because I don't want no more gas. I thought about plug-in hybrid, but it's expensive. And well, basically, the plug-in hybrid is basically an electric gas engine with a larger AAA battery. That's what I call it. Because if you stop and look at the hybrid, it looks like a double A, look like a single battery in there. It's small. It's very small. It's where the back seat is. I don't know how that's able to give you better gas mileage, but they figured out a way because they couldn't figure out another way to do with the combustion engine. They tried to make the combustion engine smaller. Like GM, they have these engines really small, 1.2 liter. That's for a small vehicle with a turbo boost in there. So the turbo boost gives you that. It gives you that act like it's a big V8 or a big V6, but it's not. They're not telling you the truth about that stuff. It's where it's another thing where it's made. So mark of excellence. My father was really into the Oldsmobile, and he had when he first came to the country, he had one of those, and then he had 60. I think it was a 60 something. Then he had 70, 75 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme with 2-barrel carb. I think it produced 260 horsepower, I believe it is. When you step on the accelerator, it go. He didn't have a 4-barrel carb. He had no air conditioning. He didn't believe in air conditioning, so we sweat it out with the ventilation system. 2-door, leather seats. I don't even think we had a clock in there or anything in there. But he had it specially ordered for him. He picked it out himself, and what he wanted came from the factory. One side had the chrome mirror. The other one had that sports mirror. But I remember when he got it, he was happy. He had it until it don't run no more. So it went past 20 years until it just conked out. But it lasted that long. That's pretty good. What was that 75 and 20? like sometime in the 90s before it cranked down. Now, that's when GM made vehicles very good. So what's going on today? I go look for a vehicle. I picked the Chevy Bolt EV. It's supposed to be 25,000. I go online as an internet buyer. Internet buyer. That's what I've been doing all these years. I started with Fleet, that Ford Fleet, right? You had like 12 different sales guys in a room. They handled doctors and lawyers and and the elite. Somebody told me about it, so I went in there, and um, I went there and I said, go to the lot and pick out what you want. I went on the lot. I saw a Probe and I saw this Ford Escort, um, LX two-door coupe, not coupe, two-door hatchback with the spoiler, moonroof. It had everything. It had a lot. It was fully equipped, alloyed wheels. That was made in Mexico. That's a shame. And then now we have nothing against Mexican. We have nothing against nobody, but poor workmanship. I had electrical problems. It drove me crazy. And the speedometer stopped working. Imagine you're on the highway and the speedometer's gone. I had to tell her, the speedometer wasn't working. Isn't that terrible? It had to be replaced. 17,000 miles had to be replaced. I think around 17,000, yeah. And I didn't know what they gave me. But that's what they had to go do it. It took them a couple hours to do because they don't usually change out the whole speedometer. So Ford, those are the problems I had at Ford. Had a Dodge. Dodge had problems. Intrepid, the second generation, not the first generation. Um, Engine knocking, uh, power steering, power windows wouldn't work. You had to change them out. Boy, it was a nightmare with that. The Ford, I traded it in for the Intrepid. Nightmare. The guy put. I said, "Are you? Why are you decorating your company's business?" In the back and the plate, they said they're a dealership. It had it stuck on the car as well, and then the front bumper, they drilled holes because I live in a state we don't have no front plate. They put the plate up there. That's. I said, I'm not buying this. You take all that crap off because I'm paying cash. I know bank owns the vehicle. So they took all that stuff. And that dealership went out of business. I'd be driving around like a bulletin board. You should pay me to drive around and advertise. When you're buying a car and you're paying cash, you can take off the the name of the dealership. You don't have to have it on. A lot of you might don't care, but I care. I don't want that. I don't. I want it just should say whatever it is. Dodge, whatever it says, Honda, Toyota, whatever it says, that's what it should say. It shouldn't have nobody else's name on it because you own it. You don't have to tell everybody where you got it from. Because the funny thing, I used to go to a Honda dealer, and the service center said, "Hey, where'd you get the Honda from?" Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean where I got it from? I got it from Honda. I know what he's trying to do, but I don't care. I throw it back in his face. Where I got it from? Because they don't see me in the system. I didn't buy it there. It happened to the girlfriend too. He went to Nissan. Nissan, the same thing. I've never been to a Nissan dealership. It was a weird setup the way they do it. The olden days, they should tell you how much they get per hour, and it went up to 120 an hour. And I guess they stopped showing it because it's higher than that. But the thing is this: so nothing's made here. What's made here? So, so the bolt, the battery is since electric. The whole battery is an LFP. LFP is supposed to work like it lasts longer. It can last up to 5,000. Um, I think it's 5,000 charging cycles. The other ones they only go up to 2,000 or 3,000 if you're lucky. And that means if you buy it in 2027, it'll last up to 2052. Okay, this is LT. This is the cheapest one, and then they all have the same thing. The RS is more sporty, so it looks they paint the wheels black. It depends if you want the alloy look or the chrome look. But anyway, well, I see we're going a little longer here. But